How you guys doing tonight? Yeah, got quite a bit of stuff to go over tonight, guys. But yeah, I wasn't really gonna do a stream tonight, because I'm frankly, guys, I don't feel good at all. But I knew I just want to keep everybody updated on what's actually going on and and what's happening right now. I hate to even miss a day, at least with an update of some sort, because things are just happening and things are going to continue to speed up. So, um, nice to see everybody in here. Darcy, Havoc, Missy, first again. Wow, that's like the third time. Mighty Mark, Christine, good to see you guys. Third in line. Jeff, Havoc, I said hi to you. Tommy Bird, Barbara, nice to have you all here. Toluca. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody there. And if I, screw up your name, I apologize. Sometimes screen names are hard to know what they're actually trying to say. I've seen some really crazy ones. Well, one of our mods has got one of those names. I'm not sure if you guys know who Trinity Red or Blue Pill Hi Ho Kermit the Frog here. That is her name. Yeah, Missy, I'm okay. I'm not. I don't really want to get too much into that because it's just all negative. So I'm not gonna burden you guys with my issues. But I will say this, and I had told Mark and Scott the same thing. Mark Pyers and Scott, and Cindy and Mike over at Evolutionary Energy Arts. If I go missing for a couple days, just know that I'm most likely okay. I would just be kind of in a hospital setting, if that makes any sense. I'm like I said, I don't really want to go too much into that. Too much bad stuff happens on the internet, and people hear that kind of stuff. Especially if I'm not going to be here, I wouldn't want, bad things to happen when I can't protect my family, that kind of thing. But yeah. So yeah, we are just going to jump into this. Mods, please hold it down in there for me. I do appreciate everybody here. Just to reiterate a little bit of the chat rules real quick. I do encourage conversation, and I encourage good, respectful discord. In other words, you guys can debate whatever you guys want to say. Just do it in a respectful way, please. And don't get offended because, if you get challenged on one of your ideas or one of your theories, the only thing that can do is make you better, because you're going to make sure that you're right in what you're saying if somebody's going to, call you into some accountability. So if you guys could, just kind of keep it respectful when that happens. And mods, please, if they're going to attack me, fine, leave it there. But if it's just like a, I don't know how to say this. If it's not a personal attack, that's kind of the main thing here. Okay, they can personal attack me though. Like I said, I don't care about that. Leave those there as long as it's not vulgar. But people can argue in the chat, have good debate, because that's really what I want. It helps us all get to a better answer. But just keep it respectful. I trust my mods, guys. So, I guess whether or not you think you might be have got the bad end of the deal there, just do what the mods ask you. I know from the short time we've had with all this that they're not going to put you in timeout or ban you or anything like that unless it's bad typically. Okay. Yeah, at the beginning they weren't really sure what I wanted. Now I've made it pretty clear. So if you get booted for being vulgar or something, I don't know what to say. And again, if you think it's wrong that happened in a certain way, if I don't see it, please email me and I'll go back and look over it. But I can tell you this right up off the bat, that I trust my mods, and it's going to take a lot for me to not back what they do. Okay? If I see an issue with any specific one or anything, this or that, I'll address that with that one person in private, and then if it continues, then I'll, obviously I'd have to take the wrench and all that kind of stuff. I don't foresee any of that happening, but just know that there's other ways to handle things like that. But I wanted to put that out in the front because the past couple live streams, guys, we've had a few issues. It's okay to be passionate, but be respectfully passionate. Okay? Rip Curl, hey buddy, I seen you in there. Good to see you. I emailed you, man. Guys, we're going to go over and check out his channel here in a minute, too. I'm going to show you guys his channel. Anybody that's not subbed up to him, we'll take a look at that. But anyway, I know Mark's live right now, Mark Pyers, but I want to get this in. That's kind of where I'm at with it. I just need to get this in because, like I said, you guys could probably hear it in my voice. I'm not feeling well, and there's more to it than just a head cold. I'm not going to go into it much more than that. Anyway, this is the Schumann. What we're doing here, guys, is, again, we're getting a little bit of small spiking going on here. Okay, and I do like this new webpage. Well, new to me. Let me put it out there. Because we can go look at specific hurt levels and how intense they are and all that kind of stuff if we want to. But for most of us, we're going to stick with the general stuff here, unless you want to dig into it like Verte has. And again, I would point you guys to him to check this out. But there was a little spike here, nothing big. Here, a little bit short-lived spiking. Notice in between these two spikes, look what happened here. That was kind of strange. That would have been a constant hum at those levels, just in between, like a start and stop point with two spikes. It's really odd looking. Okay. I did see it kind of continue and it started tapering off back down to, what we would typically see here. But again, all this mess up here, I'm not sure what that is. I guess I need to ask Verte. He may have already answered that question for me already once, but I can't remember it. Lot to do, guys. Lot to go over. So, let's see here. Let's get rid of that. Go here. Again, Space Weather Prediction Center. What we're going to look at here is solar X-ray flux, guys. You guys can see a little bit of spiking going on there. What those are, those little itty-bitty spikes on the graph, those are those active areas on the sun that are just kind of puttering a little bit, spitting little flares that you can barely see. That's why those X-rays go up like that. Okay, and this is where we're going to start the conversation with the slow solar wind speed. Guys, when it gets down close to 200 or even below 300, that's just really not normal. It's not like if it gets way below 200, yeah, that would be like extreme. But what we're looking at here is geomagnetic activity. It would have to stay. They're not going to issue any kind of major cosmic ray warning unless these are zeros for 24 hours, I think that's how it works. So if it pops up just a little bit, they'll issue a minor warning, but other than that, nothing, right? Now I know you're probably looking at this. This is probably an eclipse. I didn't see it. I haven't looked at it yet. We'll take a look at it here. That was kind of weird. Let's grab the scroll bar on that one. That was kind of odd. I do think it's just a typical eclipse that we see here. See how it's starting from up here and moving this direction. Basically what's happening is the Earth's passing between the satellite and the sun. So that's why it's, doing what it's doing there. It'd be interesting to see what's after that. You can see where it kind of glitched out a little bit. It's just trying to make up for itself and the issue it was having there. But you can look down here at the electron flux too. Right? And you guys see these right here? See, I hate these stupid bubbles that pop up. You can't even point to what you really want to talk about. But anyway, you can see where it's doing this, and the magnometers are doing the same kind of thing. You know, that's just a little bit of activity there. Electron flux means there's more or less. It's a fluctuation from the norm. So we got the ACE data, and we've been questioning the validity or the accuracy of this. You know, right now, look at the range again, 200 to 320. I mean, it would have to be at the high end of this to be anywhere close to normal. And that's what it is. It's actually up here about 300. And it's dropping down below every so often, which isn't really all that normal. You guys see the BZ up here, how it's kind of teetering around negative off and on. The fly angle, it's been pretty volatile today. It's been moving up and down. Polarity stuff getting bumped around. Temperature, yes, it's doing its thing too. Density, notice this, guys. And this is what, again, I have to say this. We always have to look at the range. Look at the range we get today. 0.1 to 1,000. So again, why would this graph do this? What's telling this graph to give us that kind of a range? Well, it's because it got a reading close to the top and bottom somewhere in this time frame. So check out what I'm saying right here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more because I want you guys to understand this, because this is kind of nuts. Anyway, if you look down there where my cursor is right here, I'm circling it. That little dot is one data point. So it picked up a density reading of probably like a 0.5, which is really, really low. Okay. But then we had the little blackout area here, and it's probably where that, you know, this right here on this end is where that, we've seen that eclipse. It's probably something similar going on right here. But then we get a reading up here. That's over 100. So, but it's reading like 1,000, so you wonder if there ain't something up here too. Or they thought, or this model might have thought it was going to. If we see a density reading of 1,000, I don't know what I'm going to say. I just have to be honest. I mean, that would just be completely nutty out of this. You know, I don't know that I've ever seen it get to 1,000. I've seen the density get pretty high, but never like that high. But also, guys, look at this one today. This did not look like this yesterday. Anybody that watched my video yesterday knows that that's different. Now look here, look at this one. Remember yesterday I showed you guys this and it was like flat, almost all the way through. So stuff's going on here is causing this model now to pick up stuff. You can even see kind of little ripples here. Stereo A took a shot, or it's going to, right here. There was a CME, and I'm going to show it to you guys. It's actually, I think it came off like the northern pole of the sun, or at least on the northern hemisphere of the sun. We'll take a look at that here in a minute. But you got your velocity here. And again, guys, if you guys look at your graph up here, this is 300. That orange color, the darker orange color, if it does it again here, I'll try to catch it and point it out to you. It probably will, but hold on one second. I want to show it to you. So I want you guys to know. Right about, yeah, see that darker orange right there? That's right there, about there on the graph. So it's about 300 kilometers per second, okay? But this yellow stuff, you see how it gets close to 0, right? So the closer it is to that, we're talking speed there, right? But now we'll go down here and look at the density, and I look for the density to be, you know, kind of a little bit fluctuant here. Maybe not to the extreme as what we were seeing it on the ACE data, but yeah, definitely. See that? See how that does not resemble this up here at all, as far as what this looks like. It's got a lot more activeness going on. And it's like I said, the wind speed's really slow. So what happens is these particles build up out in front of us. So they're just waiting for a little bit higher wind speed to grab them and flush them out. Until they do, and the longer they hang out. You seeing all that right there? The longer they hang out in the front, the more it gets more and more dense. And then when the solar wind does pick it up and throw it, it's going to hit us, and it's going to hit us pretty decent. I've seen it put us in the storm level, like I said before. I'm not saying that's going to happen this time. I'm just showing you what does happen, and that's why we're getting that density higher up there. It's basically because the solar wind speed's low at the very basic level. Okay, that's the main root cause of it. Now again, you're not seeing any pressure around the Earth right here. Why? Well, again, slow wind speed. We got really slow wind speed and not really that high of density, so you can imagine that our magnetosphere and our magnetic field is blocking just about everything right now. It almost has to be. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. Here's the Australian model. We'll take it back to the 11th so you guys can see it. Now look, guys, this is a good place to come to actually look at the density. You see this right here where my arrow is up here, right here. If you watch that proton density, you'll be able to see where it goes. So we don't always have to go to the ACE data to look for proton or look for density. We can go right there. Okay, it's getting up around 12, 14, but I'm not seeing nothing at 100. Okay, so that's inaccurate data is what I'm going to call it, because it is. But look at the wind speed. See how it's below 300? Let's do that again. Let's see what the wind speed does. I didn't look at it on this one. So, I mean, yeah, it's like just hanging right at 300. A little bit below. Now, 300 would be considered normal. Stuff underneath 300 is low. And, I'm not the only one that shares that opinion. I'm not sure what the exact threshold is, if there is one, when we could call it high, low, or just kind of normal. But for me, I consider 300 to 500 normal. Anything outside of those parameters, we got to start talking about stuff. Okay? The BZ is actually at negative 2.1 right now, right here. So that means the door's open a little bit for some energy, is what that means. Okay, I'm going to show you guys a couple new graphs here real quick as we do this, because these are helpful. Okay, this right here is the sunspot. It's not new. It's new to me showing it to you guys. It's going to show us where the sunspots are. And, it's going to give us the negative and positive end of it. See, the green and the red. One's positive, one's negative. Same thing over here with this sunspot. Now, this one's pretty, it looks to be like it might hang on. It's healthier than this one is. Okay? But we also have one up here that it's not showing yet. It actually might be here. Not sure. It's in this area right here. It just crested over the limb. So, we'll take a look at that later. But here's the filament one that I haven't shown you guys either. It's detecting some filaments here. 1 and 2. So we watch for those two, because, again, when those flip off, again, that's solar weather, and if it comes at us, we got to know it, Coronal holes. Not much going on here, guys. Okay? I didn't really expect this for this many days in a row. Not a whole lot of coronal hole action. It's really pretty quiet, and that's what I'm trying to say. Sometimes things can be too quiet. So that's what I'll say to that. But if you guys look here, this is the 171. All right, I'm going to push play, and we're just going to watch it, because stuff's happening on both sides. Okay? First off, you got your sunspots. That's that one and that one. 2774 and 2775 right here. This one may be a sunspot at some time. Not sure yet. We're going to have to wait and see. Now, yesterday I showed you guys these little small eruptions right here. And this sunspot was over here. It was kind of in line with it. But if you look at this today, you see all this over here? That's the CME, guys. Okay? That's popping off the sun. We're getting the same kind of stuff up here. but we're also getting something that's popping off here at the top. It's actually going up. Alright, and I'll show it to you. Did you see that little there? Okay, it didn't look like it was on the front, so I think it was on the back side. I could be wrong on that. I don't know yet. We don't have enough data in to draw any kind of conclusion on that. And I'll show it to you here in a little while, what I'm talking about there. Here's a 304. What do you got here? Filaments dancing again. Okay, so if we run this back, you're going to see, plasma leave the sun over here. I showed it to you guys yesterday. We may have to go back further in time to see it, but that did happen. Now you're seeing this stuff over here, and these are legitimate filaments, or not filaments, just plasma kind of dancing around. You see how it did that? It kind of looped around and went back to the sun. When it does that, if it doesn't loop back to the sun, that's a CME. It goes on out into space. So that's what we're looking for there. Trying to find what I could see off the top. Okay, now just because we see something on the top doesn't mean it came from the top. It actually could come from here or even here and just be going at a northward angle. So when it sneaks out behind the occulter, and I'll show you the occulter here in a minute, I'll take you over to seeds, guys, and show you that stuff. But there is stuff happening right here. It's not real bad or real like intense, but this stuff is actually, there is some stuff going on here. And it's only going to get more active as we get into more of the solar cycle. Okay. So you can even see that right there kind of did a little. So yeah. And then, again, guys, we're going to keep an eye on this active area too as it comes around. If it hangs in there, it may even be a sunspot at some level. Just don't know yet. Now our magnetosphere, again, I'm going to show you these other three magnetosphere models because these are showing us some, looks like we're taking some energy, but we're beating it away, no big deal. See that? See how wide and kind of like broad chested is what I'm going to call it, like broad shoulders. The reason why you're seeing it look like that is because the speed of it's actually slow. The wind speed's slow. So it's able to flex a little bit more, and that's what we're seeing. And, we're not getting that big intense compression and rapid expansion. We're just getting a good constant flow there, and we're releasing some of the energy. That's what's happening there. If we look at the solar wind speed one over here. Now remember, that's another place we can look for solar wind speed, but I'm seeing that get like up at the 600 range. And I didn't see that anywhere else but there. So I wonder how accurate that is. See, that's a 652. I don't think that's very accurate. None of the other models agree with it. So, but it is picking up below 300 readings. So then it makes you wonder what's going on, One thing I want to say here too, we've seen this before, but see these lines over here? That's the interplanetary magnetic field lines. It's our connection to the sun and other celestial objects. When they pile up here like this, we often wonder what the heck. I mean, it's got to be something charged. So, and this little pole line right here, see this black line doing this? I don't know that I've ever seen it like turn into like an accordion looking thing, like a spring. I don't think I've ever seen it look like that. I've seen it do all kinds of stuff, making all kinds of different symbols and stuff out here, what it looks like. That's what it resembled. Some of the stuff that we've seen before resembled like Egyptian symbols, like you'd see in the pyramids and stuff. The Ra, that kind of thing. But yeah, so when we're looking at this, yeah. So there's that. Now, again, there's not really much to to mention on that because things are really, really quiet geomagnetically. Then we see this. Okay, this is our geoelectric field model. Again, you're not going to see a whole lot. We're just seeing some flashing here and there. We're getting a little bit of energy. Nothing to write home about. Very, very quiet. Okay, but now we got something we got to look at. This is seeds, obviously. I want to pause it, and you're going to see an ejection coming out from the occulter going to the north. Watch. We'll talk about this over here in a minute. Right there. See that? So something, jetted off the sun there. But it also picked up another CME over here. Watch. There. See that? That little ball. You can see it get bright over here too. Something else I want to point out. You guys see all these little, like, speckled lights. Almost like a Christmas tree, right? What that is this satellite's in a very similar position that Earth is. It's about 1 million miles closer to the sun than what we are. But it's out in front of us. So this is actually probably experiencing that draconian meteor shower just like the Earth is. It's passing basically through the same area of space. So we would expect to see that. You can see, little ones just flying by, man. I mean, it definitely is. Mr. MBB3 did a video where he caught a symbol that we've seen before, and we knew what it was. It's either a comet or an asteroid or a meteorite of some sort. And a lot of people look at that symbol and they think it's something that it's really not. And that's okay. When you can explain it like Mr. MBB3 did today, I would encourage everybody to go over and check that out, because he did a good job of showing you guys what that was and not to get freaked out over it. Back when Comet Lovejoy back in 2012, I think, came through, you guys would have freaked out, because it was right here, and the comet had a huge tail. I mean, it was bright as it could be from here all the way through. And I'm talking all the way across the screen. It was pretty impressive looking. But that's what you would expect with a comet, Here's stereo A. Now, watch over here. You can see where that first one blew off that direction. You see that? That's where we're seeing that ejection at, guys. Plus here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit because I want you guys to see this part. This is where I think we might be experiencing something here in the next few hours. That might be what we're seeing pop out over the occulter. And if it is, then that's actually on our side of the sun. Because stereo A, remember, Earth is over here, and stereo A is here looking at the side. So yeah, that's what's happening there. Not a whole, again, guys, not a whole lot. Nothing's really coming right at us right now, unless some of that is, but I don't think that it is. But you can see this right here is kind of impressive. You see how it just woof. It's kind of like a jet. That's what it looks like. It's not the typical CME stuff we usually see. It's more of a solar storm, like a big, massive area of solar wind just kind of woof, shot on off. But you can see stuff happening here too, guys. So when we see it here, we got to pay attention because we're over here. Here's the CME tracker. This is the same CME I showed you guys yesterday. So we're not going to spend any time on this because it hasn't updated for any of the new ones. Power outages. This might not be what some people may not be aware of what's going on here. There was some very, very intense thunderstorms, tornadoes, and stuff going on out here. That's why you're seeing power outages there. Okay. And obviously down here, I'm pretty sure it's the remnants of Hurricane Delta that came through. They're still trying to get power back to people down here. So that's what that is. Space weather. Okay, here's another place where I can show you these sunspots. So you're looking at them here. They don't look very impressive, but they're there, right? let's do this. Oh man, he just changed. He seriously just changed his data. So yeah, he's talking about the next meteor shower on the 20th. Yeah. So we're getting auroras without a solar storm yesterday. There was no solar flare, no coronal mass ejection, no solar activity of any kind. Then this happened. So what I would say to that is, yes, we most certainly had to have some weather. Okay? You're not going to see aurora without charged particles hitting on the oxygen molecules and the nitrogen molecules. That's what causes our auroras, guys. So, you know, what happened? Well, we got something from somewhere. At this point, I don't know if anybody can actually point where it's coming from. So there was no hope of finding auroras, but never say never. We got the complete palette of colors. What does that mean? When they say they got the complete palette of colors, that also means that it got closer to the surface because it was hitting off the nitrogen. Okay? What's it say here? There is an explanation. It's probably, yeah, a crack opened in Earth's magnetic field. So listen to this. Slow-moving solar wind poured through the gap, sparking auroras. Now, I've talked about this before, guys. Okay? This is the McPherson effect when we got the cracks in in our magnetic field. They happen all the time. But typically, with the low solar wind we had, we should not be seeing this. You know, but that just shows you that stuff does happen. So if we're getting auroras like that, that means that those particles were getting in and, you know, they were causing some issues. They could cause issues that way. Okay? It says no solar storm required. Aurora alerts. There you go. You know? For a long time it was thought that, hey, we got to have some sort of solar storm before we see any kind of aurora at all. Obviously that proves that it's not. We're back to 6% now. This is 71%. Okay, so we're 6% difference from the deepest part of our solar minimum into the first year of recovery back towards solar maximum. That's 6%. Last solar cycle it was only 2%, which means that we're upticking faster. That's what that means. Now, neutron counts. They count neutrons when we're talking about cosmic rays. Remember the graph I showed you guys? What happens when they hit our atmosphere and stuff? So they're able to count those, and that's how they get these numbers, and that's where they get the alerts from. So you can see today, high. It's a high at high level. So, you know, max is 11.7%. You know, very high, and then very low there. But if it stays high, that's when all these alerts and stuff start going out. So if we go down here and look at the near-Earth objects again, the same ones are here right now. Nothing new to show you here. I already showed you guys this data yesterday. Today, Monday, the 12th, as I'm making this live stream right now, 0.7 lunar distance one's going to happen. Okay, that's pretty. It's closer than what we typically see. You can look at the numbers here on the graph. Actually, I think it's the lowest one on this whole graph right now. Nope, it's got the December 1st one there. That's a 0.1. Okay, it doesn't get much closer than that. We've seen it at 0.0, which just means it was closer than 1/10 of the way to the moon. It does not necessarily mean it's going to blast us, but the one we seen last month or the month before, it set a record. It was the closest approach of any kind of meteorite or asteroid that did not come into our atmosphere and burn up. It kept going. So, yeah, not a whole lot to show you there either. But, you know, earthquakes. We had one in Greece right over here just pop off a few hours ago there. Okay, well, about an hour. It was about an hour ago. No, about a half hour ago. Okay, but we got, you know, guys. I still have to say this. I think this is just this energy is just too low. We should be seeing more than this. Oh, look, we just had one pop off again there. That was a 4-1. The bigger one, I think, was a 5 something. Yeah, look. Where's that at? Oh, look. Just as we're talking, look. They just got a 5.5 there in Mexico. Right there. Huh. Again, that happened right at about 15 minutes after 12. Is that what that says? Yeah. So, about an hour ago, I guess. But then we get one here in Greece. And then there was another one. And, there's a 5.2 in Greece. 4.9, 5.1, 5.1. Okay, a lot of 4s and a lot of 5s in here, guys. So, yeah. Well, I already showed you guys that. So, guys, what I'm going to do, and I wasn't even going to show you guys this today, but I want to show you guys something that frankly, nobody else is going to show it to you. Okay? And I don't say that in a negative way. I don't know why. I'm not understanding why we're not covering all the bases here on this subject of those beams. Okay? Because I don't want to just assume it's something that it's not without, researching it all the way out. So this is what I did today. I just kind of cruising through some stuff. And again, what did I do? Well, let's go here. I start looking in other places, guys. I showed you guys these yesterday. Right? So that's what happened back on the 11th, 10th and 11th. Okay? So I went back over there today, and I went even further south. Well, we're getting beams here. 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 There. There. Up here. Now we're out in the Pacific. Okay? Here's Central America. Here's the coastline of South America. Now check this out. We have 2 of them here in a horizontal line. But if you go on down, you see another part of that. Okay? So, that's coming. That was on the 10th? Yeah. Yeah. That was on the 10th. Now look at that. So, what are we supposed to make of that? Now, let me explain this to you, okay? Because, man, I almost don't even want to talk about this. Because I'm not trying to... I just want everybody to see it. That's all. So you guys make up your mind what you think on this. I'm not going to try to steer your guys' thoughts on this. But ask yourself this question. If this is horizontal, how did it come from space? Okay? That's what I would ask. And I'm not going to go further with that. I'm just going to drop that part of it. And again, I think, in my opinion, this right here is part of one big anomaly, right? Happened at the exact same time. Now, could they be adding this stuff in there? Yes, I get that. But I just don't know what to think anymore, okay? Like I said, I'm just going to simply show you guys the observations. And look at this. This one here, I don't even know if I can zoom in on that or not. Oh, gosh. I wish I could. Anyway, I might be able to. Hold on, because I got this in picture frame, don't I? Yeah, I do. You guys see what's happening there? I want you guys to understand what we're seeing there. This beam is underneath the overlay. So, that makes perfect sense. At least it does to me. That's probably really what we should see. Because I think what they do is they take this, whatever imaging they get, and they just put this over top of it. Just so we have some boundaries to look at. And why I'm showing it to you is because you might have somebody come out and say, well, it shouldn't be able to go behind that. Well, that's not true. Clouds go over top of it all the time, and, sometimes it looks like it's... Let me show you this. Okay. You see how the overlay is over top of the cloud too? So that means the overlay is over top of the imaging. That's what that means. And I just wanted to point that out because some people may not, grasp that. But then you get this, right? I mean, yeah. So I stopped there. I could keep showing you tons more. And I wasn't going to really do any of that. Remember I told you yesterday I wasn't going to talk about that much more. Just because of that reason. Because I don't know that we're ever going to come to any kind of conclusive answers. There's so many beams getting fired out there now, whatever's causing it. What we can do is what I'm going to do. X out of that. We're going to go over here to the page website real quick because I want you guys to see something. And I think it's going to catch your attention. We'll go over here. You're going to see a massive anomaly. Now, what I think's going on here is, before we even get into this, I think what we're seeing is like solar weather coming in, okay? And so let me show it to you. Let me get here real quick. Sorry guys, I can't think the fastest right now. Okay, you guys see that? Now obviously that's a complete glitch out of this satellite. But what's interesting is I could go back further and this thing is hanging on for a while. Look at the timestamp, just what we get to see. That's at 13 minutes right there. I'm sorry. That's at 1300 hours, 6 minutes, right? So if we keep moving, see what's happening here? Right, and then back to normal. So, from there, that's at 1300. That's 14, 15. So we're looking at about a 3-hour glitch. I've not seen a glitch like this ever on this, but I haven't been looking at it very long. Okay? I'm sure it is a glitch. I don't see this being anything other than, solar weather probably had a lot to do with what caused this thing to do this. But this is, yeah. Now, what I want to show you guys is, and I'm stopping it there for a reason. I'm going to zoom in. Well, I can't. Anyway, if you look at these lines, the horizontal ones, they kind of match up with what I showed you guys earlier. So I'm not sure where I stand with this stuff right now. And that's why I'm going to just let it go. See, look here. You could even see that. See that little horizontal line right there? If that was the only thing we seen and we just kept moving, we'd think that was a beam, right? Well, because I showed you this, we know that it's not. And then right around that same time, we get this. So this is what I'm going to do, okay? For the next few days, I probably won't show this, right? But I'm going to, if I find a beam, I'm going to find the local time of where this beam is at. Okay? Time zone wise. And then I'm going to compare it to the time zone that the other beams are being, we're catching them in, right? Not just the time zone, but the time of day that these things are being caught. Because that's the only way we can actually rule out like a reflection from like the sun doing something crazy in our atmosphere, bouncing light off this thing, and it's causing these things to happen. If every one of them come back roughly about the same time, I'm going to have a hard time not thinking that that's a lot of what we're seeing. Now again, I can be completely wrong, but I don't think that we need to stop with just what we've got. Okay? We need to keep digging here because I don't think we have the whole answer. You know, I know that, you know, the DE whatever, and the military bases, all that stuff, yes, that is, I mean, I already told you guys how I feel about that. I'm on board with all that. But there's something else going on here too. So I don't know. I don't know what it is yet. You know, so we're seeing that. And again, we all know that that's just an overload of information that's getting in this satellite. And that's why it's seeing it. Okay? It could have been just a little blast of, you know, solar weather. You know, because it was like a 3-hour thing. Now remember, we seen auroras too. So that confirms that there was stuff coming into our atmosphere. Right? And these satellites are actually outside our atmosphere a good distance. So it's going to get hit with that solar weather even before it gets in. So they experience it pretty rough like, you know. So yeah. So what do you guys think? I would definitely like to have some opinions on this. I don't want to, you know, what I don't want to do is just let this thing drop and for all this is just to walk away and accept what we all think it is. I want to make sure that we're right. And, you know, at the end of the day, we may not ever be able to say that we're 100% right. So, yeah, Margie, I'm with you. I think it's real too. But, you know, I don't think all of it is. I want to, you know, like I said, I want to come back. Yeah, there you go. Laser testing, it could be that. But what I want to do, I'm going to find out where these beams are at, and then I'm going to compare it to the actual time. Like say we see a beam here at 10 o'clock. Their time, like Hawaii. That's Hawaii right there. And if we see a beam over here at 10 o'clock California time, over here in California, and then we see a beam down here in Central America at 10 o'clock, if they're all saying 10 o'clock, do you guys see what I'm getting with this? That's kind of what I'm saying. So if it is exactly around the same time frame each day, it's going to be hard to say that it's anything other than a light anomaly because of the reflections. We know that these happen this naturally anyway, every so often from reflections. And Mr. MBB3 did a video showing you the big, you know, one of those big glitches it has. It looked like it was shooting stuff all the way across our planet. And it wasn't, because it happens every year at the exact same time. So what I'm trying to say is that, you know, if we're getting horizontal lines, I don't know how that can come from space. I mean, what do you guys think about that? Let's just go back to one of those pictures while we're talking here, okay? I'll show you what I'm saying as I'm saying it, because I want people's opinion on this. I want to figure out what it is. At least be comfortable enough to say what I think it is. You know, maybe, again, if all of us can kind of talk about this, we can probably figure it out pretty good like. I'm not saying anybody's right or anybody's wrong. I am 100% like, hey, let's all figure it out together. You know? So, that's the horizontal line I'm talking about. And you got two vertical lines right on the edge of it this way. Yeah, Exiled, you're right. Yeah, I'm going to do that, Mighty Mark, is what I'm going to do. Um, yeah. So, yeah. I do want your guys' opinion, though. I mean, I value it. I really do. Um, and that's the thing. You know, if we're talking about, weapons or anything like that, these would have to be naval weapons. They would have to be on boats. This is out in the middle of the Pacific, guys. This isn't over land. And we know that, the Chinese, they have their big weapons like this on their fighter boats. You know what I mean? Their battleships. At least a few of them. Surface testing. Yes, that's a good idea, George. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of good ideas that we can come up with. It's, when I seen this horizontal line like that, I just, it brought a lot of questions to my head. I'm just glad that, I went outside of the United States on what we were looking at. And I don't understand why everybody else ain't trying to do that. Because it's relevant. It's more than relevant. It can actually answer a lot of questions. And again, I know we have military bases and stuff outside of the U.S., but what I'm going to say, yeah, that's right. Exiled. It could be random, and it could be specific. It could be all of that, and that's what I'm trying to say. At this point, I don't think any of us can really say 100% what this is. And I'm of the mindset that I don't think we're going to be able to say 100% unless we can kind of work it out together somehow. Yeah, Rip. I mean, that's just kind of where I'm at. You guys see how hesitant I am to talk about this, and you know why, right? Because somebody's going to view it as if I'm trying to debunk somebody, this, that, or the other. And that's not really what I'm doing. I don't care if my name's on this. I don't care if I'm proving this, that, or... I just want the truth. That's all I want. That's it. And once I'm comfortable thinking that I believe I know what it is, or at least a good possibility of what it is, I'll drop it and I'll leave it alone. And I'll go with that. Yeah, I noticed that too, Mighty Mark. That's you're making some good observations there, man. He says seems always look like a half crosshairs. And again, guys, we can back these up. Now look at this one. See, and this is where I'm going with this because I want you guys to look at the time with this one. That is at 12, almost on the nose, noon, right? UTC. That one is at. That was 10 minutes earlier. So, now follow me on this, and I know it's going to look like I'm saying, oh gosh, this isn't nothing to be paying attention to. That is the furthest thing that I'm saying. Okay? So, we got this one at 1950, and then we get this one 10 minutes later. And if you look at this, maybe I think I can zoom in. Yes, good. Okay, now look at this one here. You get a little horizontal line there, but if you go on out, you're getting horizontal here too. So now we've got a horizontal beam here maybe, and then a really, really small one. That's, it's out there by itself. So what I'm saying is what this actually kind of looks like, and I know it's not the most popular answer, that if you take this and you take it to the next capture here, it's making a rectangle. And if we go in here, now I want you to see this too. This is going to show you guys what I'm talking about. Do you see the distortion inside of what I just did there? Okay, that's not natural. That should not look like that. and it stops where this beam is. You guys see that, right? So what I'm saying is that looks like a glitch. That's essentially what I'm trying to say. Because it's in this rectangle, the distortion's inside the rectangle. It's nowhere outside of it. You can see a clear hard line down here. See that? So I think it's got something to do with that. I don't know. Hey Becca, how you doing? Margie, good to see you. Margie been in here for a minute. Exile, my man, Nita Lane, what's up? IG, Isaiah Granny, you in here? I didn't see you. Where you at? There you are. What's up? Yeah, I mean, Alicia, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm trying to say, guys. It can be a whole lot of different things. I just don't want us to just accept one answer and not keep looking. You know, that's not doing anybody any good. You know, even if I think at some point we're 99% there, I'm still not going to stop looking. I'm doing okay, Becca. I'm a little rough, I guess. I'll be honest with you. I'm just not feeling the greatest, so it is what it is. You know? But, you know, the issue I'm having right now is that why aren't everybody else talking about this too? You know, everybody's up here talking about what they've seen already up here in the United States. And I'll take you guys back there and show you some of it. Okay. They're showing you this stuff, which is the same stuff we're seeing everywhere else. But nobody's wanting to talk about what's going on outside of our borders here. It really bothers me. Because I think we're not doing anybody any good. Yeah, you said it right there. Is that Grenade Master? I 100% agree with you there. You know, and the two we seen down here that Florida Maquis did a video on too, and a lot of people started talking about it. Dutch did too. I think they all did a great job with all that, because I think it's exactly what was going on with those specific ones. But there's, you know, is it in the same area of hurricanes? No, Alicia, it's not. That's the whole thing. I thought it was too. You know, out here in the front of these it was. But the ones I just showed you guys, there are no hurricanes. There's no weather. Some of it's not even no weather there for like 2 or 3 days on either side of it. And the one, you know, like I said, the ones that Dutch caught over here in California during the wildfires, going right into the fires, you cannot deny that. I'm sorry. I mean, something crazy was going on there. And then when he's seen the hot spots here, and we got earthquakes right after that, wow. I mean, the man is good at what he does. You know, that's just what it is. Chemcoff radiation, you know, I don't know, Becca. I don't know much about that. Just being honest. Yeah, kind of net. Looks like a vapor trail a little bit, doesn't it? Yeah, Vintage. You know, I look for the earthquakes to start popping. Matrix glitch, Jeff. Yeah. You know, if that's what we're in, you know, that most definitely. Where's Neo? Hey, Ricky, how you doing? What'd you mention, Redden Valley? Let me go up here and look, just so I can know what you're saying there. Did y'all see the documentary put out called "The Plot Against"? Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of strange stuff going on right now, guys. I would encourage you guys to not accept the status quo on either side of the aisle, if you know what I'm talking about. It's okay to support one or the other, whatever your beliefs are. Yeah, it does, Red and Valley. It really does. But I would caution right now. I just, yeah, Jim Bob, I think that, that's a great point, okay? Because I do think that, we've experienced it in our community already. Wax on, wax off. Awesome. With like looking at the satellite stuff. When we see stuff out there and they know we're watching from some specific satellite, what happened to Stereo B? Do you guys know what happened to that? Scott and a couple other people were catching all kinds of stuff on that satellite back in 2016, 2017. They put it into, they said it went into like lost communication and all that. Well, they regained communication like a year after or so. That's what they're telling us. But now we don't get to see any of the data. So you tell me. So what I'm saying is, once Dutch started keying off on this, we know that they pay attention to him. That's a 100% positive statement right there. Anything that he does, they're watching. We know that. They essentially came out and said that. The USGS always is watching him constantly. Everything he says, everything he does. And if he says something that's against status quo, they immediately come out with a debunking answer type of thing. So, yeah. It's and it's like I said a few videos back, it's your guys' job and my job, probably more so, a little bit more on me, because I'm running a channel, and I'm stepping out here and doing this, that we have to try to do our best to sift through what's fake and what's not. Or what's being put there and what's not. What's trying to lean us one direction, or what is it, are they trying to steer the narrative? Or are they trying to do this? It's a hard thing, and it's getting harder, all right? It really is. I don't want to come out here and say one word that's going to be like, what the heck? But we can't stop. That's what I'm trying to say. And I feel like at some level, once we, everybody came out with their videos after Dutch did the video, I came out right behind him with one, showing some other beams and stuff that was going on. And then right after that, guys, every channel, boom. I mean, they just started talking about it. Like, just bam, 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 bam. But then what happened? Once we got everybody's opinion on it, nobody thought to look the day after and not in the same spot, because nobody has shown any of that. If they have, please point me to that channel, because I want to see it. I don't want to let this go. Because what if we're wrong? Hey, Fi. Oh, cool. Thank you. Birthday. Yeah, guys, and this is, birthday keyed on a great point there. Okay? That is their goal. They're trying to confuse us. Back at you, Fi. Back at you. All you guys. And you're right. Dutch is awesome. I mean, my gosh. The stuff that he's done and proven and predicting, I mean, it's amazing that somebody that that wasn't their profession and was able to, that right there shows you guys that people can do it without having to have a high level of education, extended learning type of stuff. You guys can do the same thing. I promise. Hey, thanks, Third Time Productions. Canada loves... Thanks, man. Back at you guys. I like my Canucks. That's for sure. Hey. Sorry. But yeah. What'd Brad B say? Good idea. What would they look like if you stenciled the beams over the last 24 hours and put stencil paper over one another and placed them onto... Oh, I see what you're saying. You know, you're basically talking about putting an overlay, right? And overlaying it through different days. Here's the thing that we have to keep in mind, that if it is like a light directed anomaly, like if it is something not so nefarious or whatever, the positions of them will change every day because the tilt of the earth is changing every day. So that's going to affect the position, okay, of where we're seeing it. Which is why, and I hate to say that, that's why when I seen, well, I actually just zipped by one I could just use to show you. Okay, we see this one right here, right? You see this one? That's at 1446, right? Now keep in mind, sun's going up and down, Earth's rotating. You would expect that if this was like a light anomaly or reflection of some sort, that it would, the next one should be down because of our tilt and our rotation. Okay, 6 minutes later, we got one here. So we go from there to there. It looks like 6 minutes. 51, 40, yep. Actually 5 minutes. Okay? So, if we're looking at that, you know, it wouldn't be too much of a stretch just to say that at least that one is like a glitch. Like a reflection. But, do the other ones do the same? I just haven't had time to do the research on it in the data collection yet. I'm going to try to do that and try to see where I can, you know, because it says it's 1451, but it's not 1451 where this beam is hitting, okay? This is 1451 UTC time. So I need to find out local time what this is, and then compare. So if local time, this is at 10 a.m., just throwing a number out there, and then I see one over here, and its local time was 10 a.m., then I'm like, well, man, you know, they're all happening at 10 a.m. That would mean that the sun's in the same position in relation to where that beam is at 10 a.m. So, you know, that could be some of what we're seeing. But, again, I think Dutch hit it out of the park when he was talking about the California wildfires. The heat anomaly he picked up here and around the North American Craton, and then again Florida Marquis with the research he did down here with the military bases. The 3 people that were in charge of these bases all went down on the same plane. Are you kidding me? It was crazy. Oh, I want to show you guys something else too. I forgot about that. I'm going to show you something over on the DePage thing here. That is, I've not seen it before like this. Let me say this. I'm an avid weather buff, okay? Just weather, period. I used to be deathly afraid of tornadoes and severe thunderstorms when I was a kid, even into my 20s. You know, it's amazing. I lived in a trailer when I first got married for about 2 years. And, you know, if a storm rolled out, we rolled out. We weren't staying in that thing. My wife used to get mad at me because I used to make her leave. But regardless, why I'm saying that is I know what a radar is supposed to look like. Okay? And I'm saying that because of this reason right here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take this, change that to 200, and we're going to look at the composite radar. Okay? Now, somebody tell me. Now, I've not really looked at this very much. Okay? Not this particular site. But why are we seeing so much ground clutter around these radar sites? Yeah, you seeing that, Samir? I mean, my gosh. Watch what happens when I move this. Why are we seeing so much ground clutter? And watch, look, like right here. Watch right there when I move the time. It's going to pop. It like pops on and pops off. Watch. Bam. It's like popcorn. And what was strange, now, guys, check this out. I'm going to show you guys this. You're going to see one pop here, and one pop here in a straight line. So I'm going to move it forward. You're going to see it here, here, and here. Boom. 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 See how it moves from right here to up there? I've not seen all this ground clutter. Okay? When I look at a radar loop, what we want to look at is this. That's what we're trying to see, right? I don't get it. JB, you know, I don't. I wish I could, guys. I wish I could show you guys your guys' weather a lot better than what I can. Yeah, Alicia, it's across the whole country. I don't get this. And I thought, well, maybe it's just this one radar site doing this. Okay? First off, we get this, you know, line of thunderstorms out here that was really bad for Nebraska today. Watch this outflow right here. It's intense. Look at that dry line. See it right there? Ain't that crazy? It's almost like another derecho, but I don't know if there's any wind involved with that, so I can't call it that. But this right here, with this radar just flipping up like that, that was really strange to me. You know, why are we even seeing this stuff? This is what I call ground clutter from a radar loop. So I tried the other, go over here to this one, and it doesn't let me change the location. I have to look at the Chicago area. I can't see anywhere to change it. You know, well, I went all the way up and down on this thing, looking for stuff, right? I seen nothing where it was going to let me change the location. So watch this. Let me put, yeah, it's already on 200. Watch this loop. This was even strange. You're going to see a dry line come off Lake Michigan going this way, moving southwest. See that? Watch. It's moving the wrong direction, guys. I don't want to say wrong direction, but typically weather moves from northwest to southeast in the United States. At least from west to east. This one's moving from northeast to southwest. See that? Now, this is the other thing that bugs me. Okay? Right after that happens, watch what happens. I'll take it one click at a time. Boom. That was the next image. Okay? So we get this. Moving forward. Bam. Goes into that ground clutter crap. So I'm not understanding why all the ground clutter. That's all. You know, maybe I'm an idiot when it comes to this. But what we're going to do, check this out. I got another avenue we could go down just so we can kind of prove whether or not we're seeing anything at all. We're going to go over and check out windy.com. And we're going to go to Mr. MBB3's website to do that. Okay? I like to show people his website because he deserves a lot of traffic over here. He does a good job. So this is windy.com. Now I'm going to go up here and change the radar satellite. Alright. So I'm going to hit that. Hit play. Now watch all the same radar sites. Windy.com's picking them up too. See that? It's not like, you know, bam, like the other one was, but this one even shows that dry line too. When we're talking, guys, a dry line is like an outflow from a trough, and it will actually cause weather sometimes, bad weather, like high winds. So that's what we're seeing on that. Now let me do the 1 hour loop here. What's it do? Yeah, it's not going to show us a whole lot. Let's go to the 12 hour. But you can see where these radar sites are because they're see that? Look. Let's watch that again. Up here. See all that right there? What caused that? I just don't know what that is. So yeah. Hopefully if somebody knows what that is, they can email me and let me know. You know. Windy.com, by the way, guys, is an awesome site too. I mean, there's a lot you can do over here. There is. You know, you can plot points. Like, watch this. Okay, that's the latest readings right there on that point. So I just think it's a cool site. That's all. You can add lightning and everything else there. Yeah, pressure of atmosphere, Samira. I mean, that's... Yeah, I don't know. I heard Australia is going to get 300 degree temps and cook. Wow. That's kind of nuts. I hadn't heard that. Okay, yeah, you're living over here in Southwest Missouri? CW? That'd be over here. But yeah, guys, yeah, I don't know what to make of that radar. We'll get off of that one, but we'll go back to, go to 200. Let's, go back to this. I just don't know what this is. These are definitely where the radar sites are at. And that does definitely look like ground clutter. Okay? But why are we getting so many of them? And why are we getting like the popping on and off, like energy going from one direction on up? I mean, what do you guys think about that? I mean, seriously, does anybody have any thoughts on if that's normal or if that's something that... Because I don't look at this enough to really be able to tell you. Guys, if we get like 300 degree surface temperatures anywhere, none of us are probably going to be here. Okay, I mean, you guys understand what I'm saying there? The boiling temperature of water is 100 degrees Celsius. So yeah, Brad, you put right there. You put 150 degrees Celsius is what roughly about 300 degrees Fahrenheit would be. We wouldn't make it to 300. We'd be dead way before that. Our bodies are 90%, water. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it, Becca? It's nuts. Yeah, 212 is boiling point for Fahrenheit. Yeah. No, Isaiah Granny. I think Becca said something about 300-degree weather or something somewhere. Um, but like I said, if it does get like that, I don't think any of us will be here to see it. I'm laughing, kind of like a nervous laugh. Yeah, I didn't even see you say anything, Isaiah Granny. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you said it was going to be hotter than normal. That's definitely, yeah, I agree with you there, because it's going to be. Scott's been saying that past couple years even. You cook chicken at 3. Yeah, 300 degrees and everything's going to die. Yeah. Let me say this: if you get one section of the planet, even if it's like localized, that gets to 300 degrees, it would change the global weather pattern so much that none of us would be here. It would just be uninhabitable. And I don't know why 300. Maybe somebody might have, I think Becca said that first. Maybe she heard it from somebody else, or maybe she's talking about something that could happen way in the future or something. If catastrophes. Yeah, I don't think you'd have to worry about shaving your legs no more. Because you ain't going to have no hair. It's going to be gone. What causes gravity waves? Gravity? No, I don't know, Robin. I have to look. I do know what it is. I'm not comfortable enough telling you exactly what it is. I tell you what, though. I will. You know what? You give me a couple days and I'll come up with a definition for you and let you know what that is. See, hey guys, we always got to try to look at the positive stuff, If it gets to 300 degrees Fahrenheit, we don't have to shave no more. Just saying. Guys, I'm seriously, I'm pretty sick, guys. So, I feel comfortable enough around you guys to laugh and do this kind of thing, and I appreciate you. Teresa, what's up? How you doing, girl? But yeah, I may end up, like I said, I may end up in the hospital for a few days. I'm not sure yet. Yeah, when I can't put my shoes on because my feet are so swollen, it's time to go to the doctor. I took Lasix for the past few days, and off the recommendation of one of my other doctors, and yeah, that thing just updated, didn't it? Look at that. Watch right here, guys. Something ain't right there, guys. I'm sorry. That is just not right. Ricky, you're right. Either that or get catheterized. No, yeah, and most people don't want to even try to do that. I've been catheterized a couple times during surgeries and stuff, and actually I had kidney stones quite a bit, and I had a stent in. Now I'm sharing a lot of personal stuff here, so I had a stent in for over 2 weeks. And those that don't know what a kidney stent is, or a bladder stent, or they call that I forget the tube that goes from your kidney to your bladder, urethra, I think. Um, they put a stent in that. And it's to hold it open because I was spazzing. My bladder was spasming, so was that. I had a kidney stone that was a little over 6 millimeters. And cool, shits and giggles. That's awesome. Thank you. But listen, they left it in for 2 weeks, and guess what? You don't go back to the doctor to have them pull that out. You pull it out yourself at home. And I know that that's probably freaking people out that didn't know that. But wear a diaper, everybody's wearing them on their face anyway. Good one, Aurora. Like that. Love it. Thanks, Beck. I appreciate that. And I know, I really do. I wouldn't be talking like this if I didn't feel comfortable doing it. But yeah, I had that stent in, and it's like this. When they first put that stent in, because they couldn't get the stone out without having to, they didn't want to use the ultrasonic, I should say, to blast the stone because of the position it was in. So I had 2 options: try a stent, or they could go in with like a basket and try to grab it. Well, I ended up having to do both. I had to stent in for a couple weeks. Then they went in again, put me back out, went in again because it didn't pass. And they had to grab it. So then I had a stent after that for like almost a week. Because when they do that, it irritates that urethra in your bladder right there. And it'll cause it to spasm. And when it does, the urine that's trying to leave your kidneys and go to your bladder can't make it. Because it spasms so much that it closes back up. And that's poison for your body. Okay? When your kidneys shut down, it's the same thing. My dad had a brain aneurysm when I was, when my son was little. But he was in the critical area, obviously. He didn't even know who he was for a couple weeks after that. It's amazing he even came out of it alive. But it was one of the most depressing departments I'd ever been in. It was the neuro intensive care. Not only that, it was like the very, very critical ill patients. It was more than just intensive care, okay? It was like, this is the last ditch effort to save these people area. Okay. But listen, I watched a guy that I'd walk by his room every day, and you can't help but look, because there's no, in the intensive care units, there are no, like, everything's windows, so the nurses can see in all the rooms all the time, and the doctors. And so I'd walk by this one patient, and I watched him turn from a regular color skin to, you see this orange right here that Alfred has as his icon? His avatar? That man turned that color within 24 hours. And it was because his kidneys had shut down. He lost his battle. He lost his life. And it was horrible. And I'm telling you what, guys, and I don't say this as a shot at anything, but that was one of the foulest smells I had ever smelled in my life. They couldn't, it's one of those smells that you can't really even keep out of the hallway. It was, it was bad. I'm trying, Becca. I really am. It's definitely something that I struggle with, I always have for the past, I got cellulitis when I was about, I can't remember the first year I had it. I got hit with a softball, and ever since then, I fought health issues. So far as to do bariatric surgery so I could lose 200 pounds and try to help things. And it did help, but it didn't fix anything. So, I probably was just too damaged at that point. Even losing the weight didn't really try to reverse anything. It just kept me from getting any worse. And I would do it all over again if I had to. It was worth it. You know, I wanted to see my toes again. Because when I was 200 pounds heavier, I couldn't even see my toes. It was ridiculous. Yeah, a lot of people ask me, what do you look like, Wages World? Well, I've been on streams before. I'll probably show you that here in a few minutes. Well, in a few videos. You know, I got a call today, guys, from Joe Biden's aunt. Aunt Judy. And she's wanting to do the space weather report one time this week or next week. So I'm thinking I might like, those are overrated. Yeah, Teresa, good one. I'm thinking I might let Aunt Judy do the solar weather update one day in the next couple weeks. So what do you guys think about that? Yeah, she was saying some stuff like it's you know, yeah, she's in love with Donald Trump. Do you guys know that? Aunt Judy is Joe Biden's Aunt Judy. So yeah, I'm just kidding around, guys. But I think I am gonna try to have some fun with that. Why not? I truly say this, guys. All the stuff that I do. Good night, Bob. Everything I do here, guys, is always, it's hard information to report in a positive way. And any chance I can just put it out there in a more fun, positive way, I'm going to do it. And I know that sometimes people get, they get on me for that because they don't want to see that. They don't come here for that, this and that, right? But I'm still going to give the same information. I'm just going to, do it as Aunt Judy probably. I already, I got me a little get up that you guys might get a good laugh out of. So, so hopefully you guys can kind of appreciate that. I'm going to try to have some fun, guys. In days like today, in today's world, anytime we can do anything like that, I think we should. It's, if we forget how to laugh and have fun, then why are we even still here? There's no point. So yeah. I think Donald Trump might even be calling in to talk to her. I'm pretty sure, at least that's what Mark Pyers was telling me. He'd talked to Donald and, he was wanting to have a conversation about some space weather stuff and other things with Aunt Judy. So, might try to make that happen next couple weeks. So hopefully you guys can get a good laugh out of that. And just so everybody knows, I don't hold any kind of like steadfast political whatever ideologies or whatever you want to say. I pick who I think is the best candidate in my own head, no matter what party they're in. Now I have to say, just my upbringing has got it. I tend to lean more towards the right stuff. Not always though. Okay. Ricky. Yeah, guys, I think I am going to go ahead and end the stream here, guys. I know it's getting late. Everybody's got to work on Monday. I didn't really expect this to go this long, but, it is. Yeah, Aurora. Yeah. We got to pray for our leaders no matter what, even if we don't like them. And I think a lot of our country's forgotten that, unfortunately. And I do think that yes, Shits and Giggles, Mark Pyers is a great watch. You guys know that. I mean, I think Mark is one of the most awesome things that's hit YouTube in a very long time. And my hope is that I can facilitate a bigger audience for him. Because not necessarily to help me or make me feel good, or even to help Mark and make him feel good. It's that everybody he touches with his show is going to feel good. And if I can have any part of that, I want it. You know what I mean? I just want to help, you know? Help people just have a better life, have a better outlook. Just all of that. And so yeah. I think I am going to go ahead and end it here, guys. Not much more to say. You know, again, guys, I'm not coming at anybody with this beam conversation. I don't want anybody to think that. I just don't want to drop it and just accept what I want us to keep researching it and really get to it. So, thanks your birthday. I appreciate that, bud. Teresa, hey. I'm swelled and look 9 months. Oh, that's too bad, Teresa. I'm sorry to hear that. Exile. You got my... I returned your email, remember? I hope you... Did you get it? I didn't get it. Yeah, okay. Cool. Thanks, Robin. I appreciate that, you know. That means a lot. She says, love video you did for your wife. I really hope everybody gets a chance to watch that. Because my hope there isn't to say, hey, look, I love my wife. And, you know, I did that for her, first and foremost. Second, I did that so maybe other people will do that for their people, for the people they love. That's why. I try to set an example in that way. So, thanks, Gypsy. Appreciate that. Yeah, Becca, it's a very curious thing. And again, I don't think any of us have it 100% right. I really think, thanks, Nita, I appreciate that. I really think it's, and I said this 100 times, I think it's going to be a combination of everything. You know, where my theory, other people's theories on anything we're talking about, where they overlap, that's usually where the truth is at. We all got a little piece of the truth, but none of us have all of it. And I think that that's what's going on there. Hey, Rip, I'm going to, yeah, guys, come back tomorrow. We're going to try to love bomb Rip some more, okay? He's got a great channel over there, guys. Go check it out. Rip, you can put your link in there if you want, at any time you want, man, okay? Just, you know, say, hey, Wages World, shout me out real quick, and I'm going to drop my link. So you got it. Thanks, Becca. I appreciate that. She deserves everything that I can give her good-wise. I mean, it most certainly is. Anybody that hadn't been over to Rip's channel, go over and check him out. Give him some subscriptions. I think Mark shouted him out this past week, and it kind of got him up there a little bit, too. I'm pretty sure. I seen you were at, what, over 2,000 subs now or something like that, Rip? Getting close to it. That's cool. Exile? Yep. Cool. Guys, again, I'm all about just spreading it all out. I really am. So, I think if we all do that, we can really make a difference. I know it sounds cliche, but what else? What other choices we got? You know? The other choices I don't like. And that's, you know, what do we got? We either just give up and just dig our hole now, or we can fight amongst ourselves, or we can support each other. You know? So if we support each other, then we don't have to have the big reset button. If we can find a way for everybody to come back to the middle, at least a little bit, you know, we could go back to the way it was. It's unfortunate that everything's happened that set us back so many years. Really has. You know, I remember when I was a kid, you know, I had to fight a lot of different divisions and stuff like that, so. Christine, you got a channel too, don't you? I think I've been over to your channel once. Are you posting videos? I'm sorry I can't get to everybody's channel all the time, guys. Especially my mods. I try. I just... I really do. You can drop your link too, Christina, okay? Anybody wants to go over, I you know, guys, go sub up to all these guys. Takes 2 seconds to hit that sub button and smack that bell. But I have so many channels that sometimes I can't even, I won't even turn the notifications on sometimes. I just trust myself to go back and look. for their videos and stuff, because if I didn't do that, my phone would just constantly, it would just continuously ring. So that's why. Alright, guys. Oh, you can't? You're on your phone? Just push my pit. Okay, yeah. Yeah, there you go, guys. You guys can just click on, well, hold on. This stupid thing would... I'm going to put you in timeout, Christine. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Yeah, guys, just go over and check her out. Click on her pic here and go check her out. I'll try to, drop her a link next time, next video. So, yeah, you guys are awesome. You really are. I can't tell you how much I love you guys. I really do. So, all right, guys. God bless. Yahuwah saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid. You're too good at. You mad? Who's mad, G? I ain't mad at you. Somebody mad at you? Huh. Well, I don't know. All right, guys. George, Alicia, Shits and Giggles, Marcus, Rip, everybody else in here, Exile. Love y'all. Dell, IG, good to see you. Nagar, yeah, all the mods, guys. You guys are awesome. So, God bless. Yahuwah saves, and